considered more difficult. In Mania, it's not actually considered more difficult. And it doesn't actually give a score multiplier either.
It's in Mania. It's a preference whether or not you prefer it or flashlight.
Yeah, it helps players focus in on a specific area rather than having to look at the whole screen if they have trouble focusing. It does mean that they play on a much lower scroll speed though, as you can see if you compare Malaysian Idiots to say Project C1's scroll speed, you can see basically the same amount of information in like a tenth of the space.
Yeah, as you can see, Malaysian Idiot is also the only player still holding a full combo. I am so sorry.
The timing, the curse is real. It's right at the end as well.
Well,
the one miss.
I'm so sorry.
Well,
as we could see, it seems like Project C1 did struggle a bit to hit those jacks, which a jack is a recurring note in the same column at a. Well, I don't think it needs to be a particularly or a particular speed. But generally it's quite fast. So
yeah.
It seems like Project C1 does struggle with that type of patterning.
Yeah, obviously a map like that is a bit more difficult, and by a bit I mean a lot more difficult than what we're seeing in the map pool today. So not necessarily indicative of how the performance might be today, but it is showing how Malaysian players might perform much later on if they manage to get that far.
Yeah, and now we are going into roles and battles for this match, and I can give a small recap of the roles and battles for the other matches. Actually, the match between the Russian Federation and Japan. Japan has actually already won 1 point on Nagiki no Ki over Russia, so that is currently on 1-0 to Japan. In Macau versus South Korea, Macau banned Harajuku Yahoy and South Korea banned Saksen Kaigi. And in the match, here we have the bans for the Russian Federation versus Japan as well. Russia banned Hekireki and Japan banned Saksen Kaigi.
Yeah, it does seem like the SV pick is definitely a popular ban, and it's one of those maps where if you don't ban it, you pick it. So it's it's kind of naturally going to have that 100% pick ban rate or close to.
Yep.
It's very rare that you have a match where it's not banned and not picked.
Although we'll probably be seeing some matches like that later in the tournament when the map pool gets larger. And now we have the bans for Indonesia versus Malaysia as well, which is let's see here. Malaysia bans Saksen Kaigi and Indonesia bans Kikoe Maska, which the Indonesia ban surprises me a bit, considering they picked an LN map for warm-up and is now banning the one of the LN maps outright.
That is actually quite strange. I also think they are also O2 Jam players. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is quite strange. It might be because they think Malaysia is just stronger overall on those long note picks, and they might be trying to go for something else.
We also have a bit of a recap between Macau versus South Korea. South Korea just won their pick on Nageki no Ki, so that match is currently 1-0 to South Korea.
We're going to be seeing our first pick here.
So we switch on Indonesia's side, switching out, I believe, Project C1 for Lino-sama.
We're going to see the first pick, the Loving Trip? Oh no, not Loving Trip. Harajuku Iahoi.
Harajuku Iahoi, which is this.
Yeah. I'm not good at that.
I'm just showing off my weeb knowledge, you know? But I believe we are seeing a switch on Malaysia's side, switching out my idiot for Chiwi 10. I believe he's one of the... I mean, obviously Malaysia's full of notable players, but Chiwi absolutely is also one of the highest ranked players in the game currently. Which...
yeah, very high ranked. I think number 5?
Around that mark, he is obviously very, very notable player. And we are going into our first map of this match, barring the warm-ups. And this is, I believe... I want to say this is Malaysia's pick, but I am not 100%.
I think it was Indonesia's, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think Indonesia banned second.
Oh yeah, they did. And they banned the other LN map. Anyways, as we can see, an early lead is going to Malaysia purely because of accuracy, although, as we can see, the player struggling to hold accuracy here is, comparatively, is Reyes, actually, who was holding very good accuracy earlier, but Lino-sama on Indonesia's side is holding an accuracy very close to those of both the Malaysian players.
Yeah, it looks like the score difference right now is solely from Reyes slightly slacking behind, although the accuracy is still really good. It's just not quite enough.
A 200 from Lino-sama, dropping his accuracy just slightly below around what Malaysia had. But now we're going into the chorus, so we might be seeing some changes here as the releases get increasingly tricky.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of accuracy drop from Reyes. He was building up a bit and went back to the 99.3 mark where he was. We're seeing some drops from Krylin as well, dropping below that 99.6.
Yeah, only about a quarter left of the map now. If nothing surprising happens, then this will be going to Malaysia's. Then this this map will be going to Malaysia.
And then it will be Malaysia's pick. It looks like Chiwi still holding that strong act. It hasn't dropped it that much at all during the chorus. Dropped a 0.01% just then. All
these players holding quite well over 99%, but drops from both Lino-sama and Chiwi right at the end. Now, you can't do that to my heart. Nevertheless, that won't be changing the result. If only Chiwi had dropped, then there would have been a potential for it to come back to Indonesia, but looking at Chiwi only getting 1/200 and that drop at the end, an extremely impressive accuracy, and Cryolian getting a very good ratio between his normal 300s and his Rainbow 300s, but not quite as strong 200%.
Yeah, so getting an SS on Scorby 2 is a really, really difficult feat. Not quite impossible, but in a tournament setting, it's very, very unlikely that you're going to see it.
Yeah, but that means that the day it does happen will be very, very exciting. But we are going into our second map now, which is going to be Malaysia's pick, I believe, Nagahi no Ki, Underjoy is insane. Oh, that sounded like I said Underjoy is insane. You never know. But as we'll see right from the start, this map is filled with streams, staircase patterning, and quite, I'd say, an uncomfortable speed to be doing these types of streams. They aren't super fast, but they aren't super slow either. So you have to kind of, it's kind of an, you know, it's simply uncomfortable to stream at this speed between your fingers and actually still hold accuracy. But it seems like none of these players are actually struggling a lot to hold accuracy, and we're seeing Race with extremely high.
Yeah, that's actually the highest I've seen on this map up to this point. It's dropping quite a bit in this faster section, but it's still way higher than... Oh wait, no, Chiwi's actually got way higher than that as well, and he's still holding it as well, 99.91.
Oh boy, they've been trading their accuracies back and forth, but Race is now, and in the faster section, dropping quite a bit of accuracy.
Not even phased. He's still at 99.9.
Oh. Well, I suppose we understand why Malaysia decided to pick this map.
Yeah, even just dropping slightly below now, but all the other players at 99.5-ish% accuracy, still really good accuracy, but Chiwi just stepping up the game to that next level.
Going into a bit of... I'd call them trills as a 4-key player, although...
Yeah.
Not sure. Chiwi dropping 1-200, not gonna give him a big setback in his accuracy department though. And Malaysia's lead is getting increasingly... just getting larger and larger. Although...
Coming into the end section here, something really major has to happen here, and it doesn't look like it is.
So, Malaysia taking their second point on Nagahi no Ki. Oh, he got no 200s. Oh, Chiwi, that is what we call a V1 double S, but it is V2, so that does not count as a double S. However, that is still an incredible score. His Rainbow 300 to normal 300 ratio as well was absolutely incredible. Especially, I mean, this is even on 4-key, which I would call which I would say is a lot easier to act in compared to 7-key. Obviously, that's just my experience. That would still be a very good ratio, and he did that ratio on a 7-key map filled with streams that are uncomfortably slow.
Yeah, it's a difficult pick to get such a high accuracy on. I don't think I've seen a score like that in the other matches that I've commentated. There might be one kind of in in another match, but not that I know of. I think that's the highest we've seen so far.
That is a very, very impressive score from Chiwi. Now we are going to see Indonesia pick again. Maybe I should give a bit of a recap on the other matches. South Korea is currently up 3-0 to Macau. And Macau will be picking next in that match.
Yeah, it looks like Indonesia is going to go with an accuracy pick, Loving Trip. That is probably the easiest map in the pool.
Yeah, that's actually... I'm actually surprised they're going for an accuracy pick, considering what they just saw Chiwi do on a non-accuracy pick.
Yeah, definitely a strange pick, but I don't really know where else you could go in a situation like this, considering how Malaysia flexed that hard with the accuracy there, and we banned out LN and SV in the ban phase.
But we could be seeing here, I mean, it's been looking like Malaysia has had one player far above the rest and one player, well, not far above or far below, but they've more been a bit, they have high valleys and high mountains, high valleys, but Indonesia is seems to be a bit more consistent, so maybe they're hoping that they could just edge out the lead here.
Yeah, it looks like the early lead going towards Indonesia. A little bit of accuracy drop from Cryoline, but nothing too major yet. Ray's holding on to that 99.92.
Chiwi having not quite as strong accuracy as earlier. Ooh, and a big accuracy drop from Rizal Pramana is not going to be helping them out. And when we say big, I mean obviously he dropped from 99 to 99, so it's not like
the biggest accuracy drop imaginable.
Yeah.
Well, but in this match, anything could be fatal. I mean, 1-200 could be all the difference, especially if these teams are really consistent and have practiced a lot. And we're seeing that act difference, that 1-200 that he got right now is quite literally making the difference in score.
Yeah. Now Chiwi and Race are very close in accuracy. Cryolian as well. They're all fighting among each other, but fortunately Rizal Pramana is a bit behind the rest of the pack. But there is still room for anything to happen here.
Yeah, the score is actually super close despite the 200, as Rizal Pramana actually builds up that accuracy again, and Raze is actually holding quite strong, actually drops quite a little bit, and the Malaysian team's still building up, so that accuracy difference is getting slightly bigger. It might actually be the case that that 1-200 is what decided it.
Going in some bracket type patterns towards the end, but with that, Malaysia will be taking their third point. And
I think it was just 1-200. Oh, it was a bit more than one.
Well, we had
200s, but still.
3 very impressive accuracies here. Cryolian getting below 100 normal 300s. But you're going to see Malaysia now up 3 points. They only have to win 1 more point to win this entire match. And actually, it's on their pick as well.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in. It lets you pick something that you're really comfortable with. And we saw Malaysia's other pick, they were really confident on. So it could be bad news for Indonesia here.
Yeah. Also, South Korea just won their match 4-0 against Macau. So congratulations South Korea for that win. And Japan just won their match 4-1 to the Russian Federation. So congratulations to Japan.
Yeah, so this is currently the only match still going.
Oh, and
looks like we're going to see an enemy get picked by the Malaysian team here.
Yep. This is they are probably hoping to trip up Indonesia, considering this is one of the hardest maps in the map pool. It does test quite a lot of things. It has relatively fast patterns, lots of brackets, lots of long notes, and a few SVs just to trip you up if you aren't quite prepared. So Oh, and they're actually switching in My Idiot, despite there being SVs in this map, although I suppose when you are very comfortable with your flashlight mod, certain SVs, the SVs in this map are not particularly difficult, but they are still there. But so I don't as comfortable. Can't quite keep up in the same
and we can
way.
definitely see the difficulty of the map showing here.
Ooh,
Even
a
Chewy.
drop from Race from a single note in the calmest part of the song. That is not going to be helping out at all.
Just about in the middle of the map as well. I don't think he's going to get back to 400 combo. He might just get there, but the damage is already done. I think it's going to take something really extreme here.
It seems like he's also still not quite comfortable with these streams either. Not quite keeping up combo.
Yeah, the slider velocity changes. They're not tripping up any of the players. Yep, no one getting tripped up by that. It looks like that's going to be 4-0 to Malaysia.
Yep. So congratulations, Malaysia, for taking this win over Indonesia. Now, again, looking at these accuracies, obviously, Rizal Pramana, even though dropping a bit in the beginning, not bad at all, actually.
Yeah,
my Malaysian Idiot, quite strong as well. 9-200s, no 100s, and Chiwi 1-200, you know, just casually. Like, what's the big deal, right?
No big deal, yeah. just plain mania.
Yeah. It's like, well, congratulations to Malaysia for winning this match. So, let's see.
That is currently it for the matches that are on for the 11 o'clock UTC block.
Yep. Now, we will be back 15 minutes before the next match starts. Oh, actually, we have the results for Group A, which means that the United States and Japan will be moving out of Group A into round of 16, and unfortunately the Russian Federation did not manage to make it into bracket this year, but hopefully they'll be getting another chance next year.
Yeah, so in the next block, coming up in about half an hour, we're going to see Sweden versus Australia, Philippines versus Italy, and Macau versus France.
And being a Swedish commentator, I obviously have the preferred winner of the Sweden versus Australia match, and my co-commentator here being an Australian.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not the match.
Not biased.
Being streamed. But
yeah, we'll be definitely keeping an eye out on the recaps that we see coming in.
Yeah. So the next matches will be in about 27 minutes, and we'll be back 15 minutes to before those matches start. And I suppose we'll be seeing you then. Or wait, what? Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna fill in the time. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. So if you guys have in the chat any questions for us while we wait out the gap here, feel free to shoot them towards us. Just tag OSU Live. So while we're waiting for the stream, sorry, not the stream, the questions to come in, what do you think? Hashtag no bias. What do you think for the coming up matches?
Well, let's see. So we have for Sweden versus